All right, just let me know when we get started. All right, so let's get going. All right, everyone. My name is Fausto from Cybertrade University, and well, it looks like we got a bunch of people here logged in this morning and this afternoon. This has actually been my fourth event that I've done today. These are always like the busiest days on Wednesdays and Thursdays. But welcome. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Bookmap, how I trade with Bookmap. I've been with Bookmap for some of you have watched any of my old videos. I've been with them since probably day one, since they started. Been using the platform. I guess got to be at least maybe 5-10 years now. So been a great platform. I'm going to show you how my style of using it, and it's just kind of give you an idea that I can't trade without the platform. I use it every day. We use it on our trading floor, and it's a really, really great feature. So kind of let you know what's going on. So basically, our style, the way we trade is we didn't go through the top 20 list. There's been a few stocks that are moving. I'm going to go here on our trading floor. This is our trading floor right here. This is our professional trading floor. Now, I'm going to invite everyone to come and join us. Right here, you can see here on the left-hand side, these are all our instructors, and these are all our traders around the world. They're all over the place. You can see Maryland, Virginia. We have our message board right here, all the stocks that we're actually traders are talking to. And then we broadcast live. Right now, we're looking at the stock at 8 p.m. And, basically it's a TradeStation platform. We use Thinkorswim, TradeStation, Moomoo, all those, Schwab, all those platforms. And right here, they got the matrix. So the reason why I'm showing you this is that the matrix is very similar to Bookmap, but not even close, other than you have the heat map on it. So I like to call like the NASDAQ Book Viewer or the matrix the level 3 version, and I like to call the Bookmap a level 4 version. So I'm going to go out there and show you some of the stocks that they were trading. Right now, they're looking at that stock 8 p.m. All right, so 8 p.m., if you look right here, is on the big percentage gainers and is actually the biggest volume leader in the market. It's up about 200%. It trades over 330 million shares. Very inexpensive stock, very tradable. You could see from here, I'll just show you. This stock, we found it early this morning. And let me show you right here. This is our alert service. You can see it right here. Our watch list, 8 p.m., THAR, PTIX, a few others, and Palantir. So we're going to check out these three right here. That was done this morning. You can see here at 9. We usually broadcast live on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok every morning at 9. And then we post this on our X and also on our Telegram of our watch list, our morning watch list. So they're still looking at that stock. That stock started this morning around 9:30. It was around $2.50. It's peaking out as high as $4. Now, if you do the math, 1,000 shares, $1.50, that's $1,500. You do that every day, you're talking a nice little, over $250,000 salary right there. Now, why is the stock still going up? What's driving it up? Well, I'm going to bring up the Bookmap platform, and I'm going to go right here and blow it up. Click on the field right here. It's going to load up the data. And it always defaults to an hour. I'm going to click on this right here and do it for 6 hours. Whenever you put something new up there, it's always going to go back and show you only an hour. So you got to ask it, unless you had it early this morning, to show me more data. So you can see up here up on top, it's almost done. And one of the big things that we kind of teach at Cybertrade University is not how to make money, but how to stop losing it. Everybody wants to talk about the winners. Nobody wants to talk about how to control the losers. And one of the big things that we kind of focus a lot on is breakouts. What makes a stock break out? Now, I don't know what everyone's here is their experience with the Bookmap platform, but some things are a little bit easier to read and some things a little bit more kind of messy. Okay. This stock right here is a little bit more on the messy side, and I'll show you why when we look at something else. You could see, I'll show you something more cleaner, then I'll hop over here. So don't mind me bouncing around. Let me show you more of a cleaner stock. Let me go hop over here on Tesla. So Tesla, if you could see here, at Cybertrade University, we just don't day trade. We also swing trade, and we trade options. And if you look right here on the bottom at 9:30 this morning, program trading kicked in early this morning. You could see that there are big orders at 300, big resistance at 350. So if you're a swing trader, you can kind of get a sense of where you're at. Program trading also is here at 315. And that's pretty much, pretty out of the way. Now, when I go to the execution system and look at Tesla, and if I draw the big chart, that big resistance levels at 350 is right here. That big support level at 300 is there. Now, if you look at that trend, you'll notice back in May, big resistance. Back in June, big resistance. Almost here in July, but we definitely hit it here again in August. So stock is trading within that range, and you could just get in and out, in and out, in and out. You could have went long 50 points, short 50 points, long 50 points, short 50 points, long 50 points, short 50 points, long 50 points, and now we're basically, you could have gone short 50 points. And you could have done that in the course of 1, 2, 3, 4 months. So that's usually the pattern of trading as a swing trader, okay? Now, it had a really tough time breaking that 350, and people always ask, how is that possible? Well, you could see that order that was probably out there 3-4 months ago, he's still out there today. So as a swing trade, that's what we're looking at, and you can see how clean it is. As a day trade, we're going to click here, move it up, and we could see this morning it did hit a resistance here at 325. That order showed up at 9:30, never broke it, and now we're coming back down, and now we hit right around here, around 320, 319. That's where the trading range. There's that big order there at 315. Okay, so the darker the red, the more shares that are out there. That's why you have 100,000 shares out there. Now, when we go back to 8 p.m., you'll notice it's not as clean, and if we zoom out a little bit further, even if we go deep, it didn't look as good as the Tesla trade, but you could kind of see where the orders are. There's been a lot of orders holding here right around the $4. And you could see buyers are out here. There's a 200,000 share buyer out here at 310. Now, one thing I notice around this stock right here, this is what we call a ladder effect. See these orders right here? That's a 100,000 share order. This is a trader that's stepping down. He keeps pushing it down. Now, the thing is, you can't get this on NASDAQ Book Viewer or any of the matrix on a trade station. This is the advantage you get on Bookmap. You could see previous orders and see what they did, because if they were there in the past, they're there in the future. And you could see how the stock kind of like ladder down, ladder down, ladder down. But then this seller got executed, and that's why we had a breakout. Now, all of a sudden, the buyer shows up here for 210,000, and he's still out there, and that's when the stock actually took off. And that's why our traders in the room are trading it right now. And if you notice right here, you bring it back here on our trading floor, you see how they're they're still working the stock right there, and that's why we're showcasing it, because the stock is still pushing up higher. If you notice that there was a seller out here at $4, he's not there anymore, and he got executed. And you can see here that we kind of broke that. This is what we call consolidation here at Cybertrade University. That means that the seller got executed. It didn't break it yet, but it did a little bit. But there's no more sellers out there. Now remember, how do stocks go up and go down? How we judge a trading, buyers and sellers. There was a seller out there at 130. He's not there anymore. It's 230. So this stock has a very good chance of continuing to go higher. Not only that, but here at 370, you could see that someone just bid it up for did a bid up at 230 for 50,000 shares. And you could see how it's starting to go up pretty nicely right here. See how it's trending up right there? Now, for some of you, if you don't know what the bulls are, green means transactions are going off on the ask. Red means transactions are on the bid. So you'll notice we're getting a lot of green bulls. That means that there's a lot of buying going on, and that's why we're getting a breakout here. As the trader, now as you're seeing it, it's trending up. There is something else I want to show you on that stock. And here's the intraday chart. And something that we teach at Cybertrade University also is something we call a Fausto flag. Fausto flag is something where some of you might think is called a bear flag, a bull flag, or a bear flag. We call it a Fausto flag because this is called consolidation. What's happening, the buyers are outbidding the sellers, and eventually it's going to break out. And that's what you're having right here. So the buyers are testing the bid, the sellers are out there in the offer. It's not breaking it, and that's why we're getting a push for the stock to go higher. And when you look over here on the level 4 or the Bookmap, you can see how the stock is breaking out right here. So the buyers are starting to come in. They're starting to bid up. It's not coming to the previous low, and that's how we're getting what's called a breakout. So on an inexpensive stock, listen, $4 stock, if you look at the trend, the stock's been moving all day, very inexpensive, very affordable. I know a lot of people don't like to trade in expensive stocks because they don't think they move, but you know what? If you go back and you look at any of the brand name, the Fabulous Sevens, they're not moving as clear as this one. So that's what we have over here. Now that is one stock of several that we traded. But let's go look at another one, P-Sky. So we've been trading P-Sky this morning too. And here on P-Sky, which is Paramount, that was another stock that was something we found later in the afternoon, at the end of the day, later in the morning. And not only was it, more of a day trade, it's turned into a nice swing trade. And us day trades, when we trade, for some of you could see this, I actually built a mouse pad, which, by the way, if anybody wants one, just email me, and we could tell you where to get it on our website. But the first hour and the last hour are the best times to trade. And when you look over here, the stock had a really, really nice push. It was kind of a new IPO. You could see right here. This is Paramount Pictures. They took over NBC. Came out a lot of bad news, but it looks like the bad news, obviously, when you got the worst of the worst, it doesn't go any lower. But what's nice about this stock is this. Right here around the 10 o'clock time zone, there was a big seller right here for, I can't really tell by moving my mouse, but if I zoom in and move this over, it was 196,000 shares. So I kind of moved over and over and over. Now that is called a breakout. And how do we know that that was a breakout? A couple of reasons. Number one, you notice the green ball out there? That means that order got executed. I always get people always tell me, how do I know that's not a fake order? Well, first of all, brokerage firms will not let you put fake orders out there. So that stock did a nice little breakout, executed him. It was a major resistance levels. And then the next program trading came in right around here, around $16. That order got filled. And then you can see the next resistance levels showed up here around 17. And then a new order showed up around 1650. So between those two orders, you're talking close to about 200,000 shares sitting there. And that's why now it's kind of like peaking there at that high. Now, if you look over here on the chart, and if I blow up the big chart right here, you could see that there was resistance a couple of days ago back over here. I don't know where the resistance levels is there. Maybe you have to look at the intraday chart. There we go. Here's our intraday chart. There's our resistance. And actually, we don't see any resistance. The real resistance is over here around 17. Is that order out there at 17? And there he is, 17, right there. So that order that was in the past is still indicative of the future. If it breaks 17, if you didn't zoom down, guess what? $17.50, $18. If we break 18, then we got 20 for 200,000. And then you know what? We're off to the races. So all these orders that you're seeing is program trading. These are all limit orders that are out there ready to sell. So that's why now when you look at it, and as we zoom out, as not only as a day trade, but as a swing trade, you can kind of see that you got what's called a four-layer cake, what we call here at Cyber Trade University, of a stacked bunch of orders out here trying to get out right here. So if the stock is going to go any higher, it's got to do what it did here around 15. It's got to do a breakout. Has to do a breakout. Two things got to happen. Those orders got to cancel, or those orders got to get filled. And that's what we look here at Cyber Trade University. We're looking for those orders to see, if it's going to break out or not, and that's going to determine if we should continue to hold it or get out of it. Now, for me personally, I own the stock. I owned it a couple of days ago, and I actually bought more this morning. Once it broke through this resistance levels around 15. So I'm kind of holding it here. I like it that it's consolidating. The market's going to close in about another hour and a half. So I'll see how that stock trades and see if it continues. But as as a swing trade, I like it. But as a day trade, if I don't see those orders getting out, I might get out at the end of the day. I got to see how it closes. But I do know, from what you can see, those orders are out there. There's people looking to get out of it. And if they do get executed, that's how we're going to go from $16.50 to $20 like that. Now, just a few more here we just want to touch upon that was also moving up pretty good this morning. Nuvo was another nice mover today. Now, Nuvo, if you look over here, one of the things we like to do is trade stocks that get really, I like the bottom fish, which means when the stock gets crushed. This stock was at $70, had some really bad news, dropped all the way to a whopping 45. It just kept going down, and as a day trade, it turned into a swing trade. And a lot of our traders jumped in right around the $47, $50 price range. You can see how the stock is it's been going up. Now it's becoming a gap fill. A gap fill is when the stock it's in uncharted territories. But how do we know we're next? Resistance levels, people probably would say, oh, well, right here, which is 57. That's not technically true, because when we look at the orders and we look at the right of the chart, 57 is a resistance. But you could see here from since this morning till now, there's been these sellers out here at $56 and $58.80. So we got a couple of orders that have been holding it back from getting there. So unless it breaks that 56, and the only way that's going to happen, that seller has to get filled, or someone's got to buy it from him, it's going to get stuck here. So we've been trading the stock for a while now, for the last couple of days, and one thing we liked about it, as those orders are getting executed. So it's not the biggest, fastest move, but consistently it is going up. Now, regarding about the winners, you probably want to know, okay, Fausto, what about some losers? Okay, well, losing is actually a good thing. Now, why do we say that? Because if you know why you lost, you're not going to do that again. So I want to bring up the Palantir trade really quick, because Palantir has not been doing pretty well. I don't know if anyone here has been following me on, if any of you here follow me on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that. Let me bring up my Instagram really quick. Here's our Instagram. And right here, if I click over here, I did a video really quick on Palantir that's on fire. So if anyone here looks us up, definitely follow us, like us, leave a comment. I reply back to everyone here. I did a video here, got 1 million views on NVIDIA. Bitcoin was pretty big, and and so on. There's been a lot of them, but I did a lot of videos on Palantir. Okay, I've been a big fan of Palantir. The thing is this, people email me back. This is Fausto, you were a fan of Palantir a couple of days ago. What just happened? Well, listen, things could change in a dime. All of a sudden, you could have a big buyer, and all of a sudden, sellers could show up, and you know what? It's like getting into an accident. Things could change. Bad news came out. Now, Palantir, if you look right here, was a gap fill, and it broke this support levels around 169, and it came all the way back down, which was the next support level of 150, and then it came all the way down to a really big support level, which is this resistance levels right here. Now, if you look right here on Palantir, on Bookmap, you will see clear as day all the big orders out here. Here's the order at 150. There's the order at 145 and then 140. But we have a lot of support levels been holding here at 150. This order got filled here at 156. So it looks like as of right now, the only resistance levels on the long term is up at 160. Now right here, I want to show you something on our trading floor, which I think you'll appreciate. Okay, right here. So on our alerts, like I said, if you follow us on Twitter, we're on Telegram. Right here, on this day right here, which was yesterday at 2:30, I noticed something very unusual that happened on Palantir. There was orders that showed up. There was a 3-stack order at 150, 151, and 152. 100,000, 111,000, 120,000, 120,000. You're talking close to about almost 350,000 shares looking to be bought. That is a lot of shares. And that started around 150. When I saw that, we told the traders about it. And you could see here, we did an alert. We have buyers stacking up on Palantir. That was at 2:30. So if you go to Palantir and you see where it is right now, you bring up the 2-day chart. Hold on. Is right here. That was a stack right around there. And here's 2:30 right here. Started coming up. And you could start seeing how the orders started going. Daniel, you have something you want me to share? I'll share that link if everybody wants to come. By the way, if everyone wants to come join our trading floor, you're more than welcome to. And I'll give you that link really quick. If anybody here would like to join us, hold on. And you could go to www.ctu.co. And if you type in free, just put on that address right there. It's not .com, it's .co. Just hit enter. And if you want to come join our trading floor, it'll just load up really quick. Right there, you'll be able to, our next event that I'm going to be doing a little bit more detailed is right here on the 28th. And just feel free to register. Okay? So get chat going right there. But that Palantir trade right there, that's when that stock made that big move. And now you can see what Palantir is, when almost went to a high of 158. So that was actually a pretty good move on that position on that one. So the big thing is it works good on inexpensive stocks, and it also works very good on expensive stocks. All right? So there's our trade on that one. And we're constantly, and we also we do I do a lot of presentations for NASDAQ, and you could see that on the videos that we have. But we like to, we always tell people, listen, sample NASDAQ and see what it's like if you get nervous. But even on NASDAQ, you'll see the same orders that you'll see on Bookmap will be on NASDAQ. The only reason why Bookmap is better is because you got the heat map. You don't have all this noise with these orders, and you get to see the orders when they were out there in the past. So that's the benefit of that. All right. We do use it also for Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys know that. So we do trade Bitcoin here at Cybertrade University. You can see where the Bitcoins are right now. You got about 147 here at 11,200. The big support levels right here. And for some of you that don't want to trade Bitcoin but don't want to trade the coin itself, here at Cybertrade University, we like to trade. We'll do IBIT, which trades very similar, and then all the other ones out there, IBTX, IBTU, and other ones. Coinbase, all of them. All right? Now, so what did we learn today? What would be the biggest lessons to learn? Big thing is this. You could use this towards inexpensive stocks. You could use it towards your swing trading. You can use this towards your long-term trading. It's going to help you see big option calls out there, calls and puts, and, and just try to keep it simple. So you could see how I use it. I don't really use a lot of the big features. I try to keep it simple. But overall, we do use it to kind of just give us a game plan where the orders are. And if there's anything you could take away from today, which I told you, is I like to just call it the right of the chart. So big difference. All right, traders? So that pretty much does it. So if anybody here would like to join our trading floor, I've been doing it for over 35 years. Just go to our website. And like I said, just type in ctu.co/free and just hit enter. And then we'll get you registered for the upcoming event. And we'll be happy to show you more examples and more videos on how to use the Bookmap platform and how we trade with it. All right, traders? All right. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And if you want to email me, just email me at fausto@ctucorp.com. That's another way you could reach me too. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I'll see you next month for the next upcoming, but hopefully you register. I'll see you next week, or you can come join our trading room right now. All right? Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.